Hi, I'm Sandra Bierman, and where we left off last time was with figures in motion using stick figures, and then we filled in the stick figures with flesh, and they look like this. And the top of the leg was in the middle of these two areas. We had the shoulder area that went in a curve like that, and where the leg started in there. And then we did a dress form. If you were sewing and you had a dress form, it would look like that. And then the arms would come down, the elbows sort of in this area, and the hands ending down here. And if you had the arm going up, the elbow line would curve up, and the elbow would be up here somewhere. Otherwise, the hands come down here. And then the side figure is still the dress form, and that's where the arm, because the shoulders slope down, so even though this line is up here, the arm is lower. And if we drew that arm in, it would look something like this with the hand down here. And then your 3/4 view. We'll put the arm in. And the other arm would be over here. When you're 3/4 view, there's an angle that goes like this. So this would be like that. And of course, we'll do the motions later. And by the way, that also goes like that, and the ankles go like that. If it's a 3/4 view, they slant, because they're further away and there's a perspective there. So if we did it in a stick figure, you would have your head, and you could have your leg like this, that you could have your leg go, sorry about that, the legs start here and the knees about in the middle, and then the other leg is over here, and you have your feet down here somewhere. And by scribbling. By the way, when you do knees, leave room for the knee before you start your calf. As I did here, and the knees are in here. So when doing arms, think of them like parts of the body, like cylinders, the same with the legs. And think of the form here. If you want a young form, it would look like this, or you could have an old form. You could have a torso that looks like this, the way some of us look now. And if you want to, this would be the bottom of the person, the rump. And if you had feet out here and legs going up, and if you had arms coming out, remember those hands we did? You could do that better than I did. You could have a person looking down so you wouldn't see the neck. And then you could fine tune it. You could have a better figure in there so that just part of that showed. I'll make that a little better. Anyway, that's a little bit long. I got torsos from where I put the legs, so if it looks funny, you can correct it. Like that. Or if we did it sideways or 3/4 ways, you could have your back bent and have the head out here and then your arm, as in this view or that view, you would have your arm coming out, starting there, and your legs could be up. You could have your arm stretched out here, and it could go up to the head, or it could hang out or be folded, whatever. I'm running out of figures that I can do with this marker, and I'm wondering if I get feedback, if people want to know how to draw cats or horses, I'm happy to go along with that. And if there's any particular figure things you'd like to know, you let me know. By the way, in drawing, there's going to be, once we open up, they're going to continue the life drawing classes where you can look at a figure and draw. And I'm happy to help out in there if any of you need help. Sometimes a figure has a foot pointing out and you see the bottom of the foot, and I don't know how it looks, but and the person may be lying down and maybe all you see is part of the leg. You may see the knee and a little bit of the leg back here, and who knows where, maybe there may be a foot here, and maybe there's a leg sticking up here, and then maybe all you'll see is a belly back there, and maybe there's an arm sticking out. So there's foreshortening in these bodies, make the head back here so on. It's hard to do it with a pen. I'm toying with the idea of perhaps doing the beginning of an oil painting, how you can use a rag to block it out, or draw it, or use a brush, different techniques for starting something. I could go into that, but I'm sort of at my wit's end here. I don't know where to go next. And the same thing in this perspective with the knee here and the foot that looks so huge from that angle. It's the same thing with the hand. You could have a thumb and fingers pointing at you, and you could have a foreshortening of it. If it's like this, and then this could be not foreshortened, the upper part, so it'd be the normal size. But you play around with different angles like that and look in the mirror. I wish I had a pencil right here, but wait a minute. Here's a pencil. When you are drawing from a life figure, you can hold up your pencil and keep it always at arm's length with your arms straight, and use your thumb as a guide on the pencil. Use your thumb, and you can measure the model. Let's say pretend this is the model. You'd measure the head And then you might measure, that head is this big, how far down another head would the bust be, or something like that. And you can also angle on the model what the angles are, and then go to your paper and get the right angle. So that's a good help. And maybe next time I'll draw a few cats for you, and then we'll see if there's interest in that or not, whether to go on with it. And if you'd like to see the beginning of a painting or something, let me know and I'll do that. So over and out. Till next time. Bye-bye.